What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another reaction. We were checking out Runaway by TZUYU, who is making her debut solo. Now, I will be reacting to the actual album. Don't worry. The album reaction will be available sometime next week. I will first post it on Patreon for a couple of days, and then I'll release it on YouTube because Twice is a huge staple of the Patreon. So if you're interested in some extra reactions, including all seasons of Time to Twice, Elegant Life, The 16 Show, Lost Time. We just checked out episode 232, I believe. Was it 32 or 38? Their Busan episode in Running Man. And there's plenty more reactions to Twice. Check out the link in the description. It will lead you to the Patreon. There's a pinned post which will lead you to a link to an archive. Make sure to check it out. You do not have to be a subscriber or register to Patreon in order to see that post and to enter that document file. Make sure to check it out before you subscribe. Click on Twice and you will find out all of the content that I have on the girls. There is a ton. So if you're interested in any of that, check it out and consider subscribing to the Patreon. And with that being said, Runaway. The unfolding situations can be encountered in a dream setting, and everything depends on how you dream. That is the little line underneath the title. Very excited about this one. Let's go. Whoa. Oh, the red thread. That literally reminds me of Set Me Free. Like she was like consumed by like that red thread that later like there was red thread. There was like a dress. There was like a cool fiery transition, if I'm not mistaken, too. That's really cool. Thread of Faith. Ooh. I'm ready. Ooh. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Ooh. This gives me such 80s vibes. Whoa. Jesus. Man, her presence is so wild. Oh, holy shit. She's literally in a sea of people and all I can look at is the center. Like that's wild. Her presence is insane. She's captivating. Oh. Oh my god. Damn. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. This was beautiful. It has such a nostalgic vibe to it. It almost makes you sentimental without realizing why. And then you kind of like, it kind of like makes you feel like overwhelmed with emotions for some reason. Like the actual sound, the instrumental, and then her voice is so fucking beautiful too. And like the chorus is lovely. The music video is so much darker than anything that you would expect from watching TZUYU, like on Time to Twice, and just, you know, going from like the savage TZUYU moments to this is really, really wild to me. Like the duality is absolutely wild. The actual music video is so wild because it's so dark and almost like laced with like thriller elements and even horror elements. It almost like partially reminded me of Gone Girl for some reason. I don't know why. I love the thread of faith, which I know it doesn't have too much to do with Set Me Free by Twice, even though we are seeing a completely different side of TZUYU, which is reminiscent of the dress transition in Set Me Free. This is like literally TZUYU being set free, no longer being the shy one, and introverted one, literally showing a different side of herself in this one. I love the horror vibes. I love the, you know, the thread of faith that even though she's the one who's cutting it, later in the music video, you see that thread is there again. It almost makes it feel like she's the one who is almost like uh doing the seduction and doing the it's not her being the naive one, it's rather her being almost like this femme fatale kind of individual in this music video, which I thought was really, really fucking incredible. She's the one who's enchanting the male character who is faceless, so she's enchanting us. So he's almost like a vessel for us as he's being grabbed, and like she grabbed him so fucking hard, like there's scratch marks all over his back, which I mean, I'm not opposed, but anyway, but yeah, the way she literally grabbing your attention. I love that the thread of faith turns into like this bleeding finger, like it's stained with blood. It doesn't matter what you think, I'm into you. If you don't run away, you will not be able to escape me, because once you're in my arms, you will beg to stay. And then the thread of faith is there again, and they're bound by it. But also the thread of faith turns into like this she's also like, there's an accent on the dress there too, the red accent, and she's literally running in a red dress as well, so like the red is really, really cool. She's literally consuming the dude's mind in a way, or it's representation of a dream of him dreaming about her in a way too. Like the dark vibes and like TZUYU's facial expressions are so beautiful. Like the whole world kind of like the ground collapsing is like, I cannot be without you. And the flower as oh my god, this is such a cool visual because she has like this wet hair look, and it almost like her skin looks almost like wet, much like the ice that is like this iced flower. So TZUYU is that same flower, literally melting the flower away as she says, I become a new me, and you'll see a side of me that no one has ever seen before. It's like literally what love makes me do, but also within like TZUYU showcasing a completely different side of herself, because this music video is like honestly a side that I've never seen. There's those little glimpses of TZUYU being incredibly happy, almost like falling in love, but love makes you do some wild shit potentially. And she's engulfed in it. So once she falls in love, she becomes a completely different version. You could see the dude's face for like a split second, but I still feel like he's a representation of us in a way as she's taking over. And she literally covers his eyes and mouth as well. Like once I get you, you will be consumed by me. Like you will not be able to see anything or to speak. That's really, really cool. Man, this music video is so fucking beautiful. And like him literally being by her side, which is kind of like a dream sequence in a way, because her smile, like there's so it's so dark. It just feels so incredibly unsettling, but also sign me up, because it's Dewey. But anyway, sorry. But it just feels so incredibly unsettling, that smile, and like the whole like the feathers is basically like the proof that this is all kind of like a dream sequence in a way. Two did a phenomenal job, like the facial expressions and like the eeriness of like her smile when the guy is right next to her, which feels like a horror-esque dream sequence of like, once I'm in love with you, if you dare actually step into my arms, there is no escaping. And this whole music video being a bit of a representation of like, she thinks that it's pure love without realizing what it's doing to the dude, because the dude is literally like either half asleep or like blinded or like having his face covered, or being scratched, being strapped to like this thread of faith that is showing his finger bleeding. Like it's kind of like, the more you think about it, the more horror-esque it becomes. But in Tsui's mind, she's doing it all for love, so it all makes sense, perfect sense to her. So in her mind, you see her in the field of flowers, almost as if like Tsui is blooming, because it's love makes us the best versions of ourselves. But there's still like this incredible eeriness, with some of the visuals. It's so incredibly somber, it's so dark, like the sequence of her dancing, the soul section, with the feathers, and like the lighting is so dark. It's so incredibly cinematic, and it's so like, it's eerie as fuck. It's beautiful. Like, she's breathtaking. Honestly, I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna end it here. This was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but you know, that's how I felt about the music video itself. TZUYU was spectacular. So I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Be well and safe wherever you are. See you.